Welcome back to my channel and thank you for watching my videos.
Today, I'm honored to be in discussion with the mayor of Bonnyville, Elisa Brosseau.
Madam Mayor, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
I'm fine and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Were you born and raised here in Bonnyville?
I was born here in Bonnyville. We moved away when I was young. My dad worked in the oil patch, so we moved around a lot, but Bonnyville always seemed to be home base. My grandparents are here, aunts and uncles, cousins, and so every summer we always came back to Bonnyville. And when I was done college, it just felt like a natural transition to be back here in Bonnyville.
Wow. So when did you become a mayor?
When?
When, yes.
I was elected in October of 2021. 2021.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Were you a councillor before or you were...
I did one term as a councillor, which is 4 years, and then I ran as mayor. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know that running a town is not an easy job. So, yeah, to make sure that everything is up to date, to make sure that everything is okay. Why were you so interested in choosing this position?
Well, a couple of reasons. One, although I spent a lot of my childhood out of Bonnyville, now I know with a small family and married, we know that we're in Bonnyville until, we have grandchildren. And so we're here for the long haul. And I learned early on that I enjoyed being around the table where decisions are being made, where you can see the impact. And so I really enjoyed that. And then when I started getting on into my first term, I realized that I wanted to be in a position more of leadership. I feel comfortable in that position. And so all those things melded together and just, I guess that's when I decided to run as mayor.
Okay. So what are the official duties of a mayor?
Well, official duties, I am the official spokesperson of the town and for council. I run all of our council meetings, which we have 2 a month. And then by proxy, I sit on many other committees and boards, which the town has representation on. And so there's a lot of informal work that goes on as far as, doing interviews such as we are doing today. And then there are the formal duties where I get invited to, for example, on Friday, we had a minister come and do a tour visit of our FCSS building. And so I was there as an official spokesperson for the town of Bonnyville. So.
Okay. Yeah, so when you were running your campaigning, did you have new ideas that you wanted to bring?
There wasn't anything that was very significant that I wanted to bring in as change. I focused more on myself and how I wanted to represent the town of Bonnyville and how I wanted to be as the leader. I wanted to work mainly with my council to bring us together as a team and to decide as a team what the priorities would be for the town of Bonnyville. There wasn't really one big project or one thing that I wanted to do as a change. It was more so being that leader and working as a council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that you work as a team of councillors. What are the challenges you face as a mayor?
As a mayor, well, the challenges are, I have to represent everybody in the town of Bonnyville, and everybody has a different perspective of what the challenges are for them or the benefits are that Bonnyville provides for them. So regardless of the differences of perspectives of all the residents, I have to be able to I have to be able to accommodate and meet with them and learn about their challenges. So that is a challenge for me a little bit, but it's something that I welcome and you need to be open with. Of course, all the different types of people that you work with, you can't pick and choose who your counselors are, who some of the counselors in the other municipalities are, but you have to learn to work with them. It can be challenging, but as long as you're open to that, I think it bodes well.
I can see that you're a family woman, and how do you balance things with the family and the council?
Well, I'll say you can't do it without a supportive family. So I do have young kids, 8, 10, and 12, and they are very active in sports and extracurricular activities. My husband is very supportive, and so is my family. I don't believe you can do it unless you have supportive family. There definitely needs to be a good balance. When I'm not home, my husband is
right.
there, and so I really do lean on family, and my friends do. I have a really great support network
Wow.
as well.
Wow. So let's talk about transportation. I'm from Edmonton, so I'm not driving. I bought a bus to come here. And my mission here is going to end on Friday. And I'm supposed to go back to Edmonton on Sunday. But when I tried to book, it was fully booked until next week, Wednesday. So,
Wow, can you see my surprise? I had no idea.
yes.
Wow.
So there's this small bus. They call it Code Short. That's the only bus we have between Edmonton and Bonnyville. It's always fully booked. You have to book in advance, maybe a week before you travel. Yeah. So, what can you do as Bonnyville to make sure that people have public transportation?
That's a really good question. And at this time, it hasn't been a conversation that I've had specifically with council or at the town. But in a rural setting like ours, these are the issues that we come up with when we don't have transportation or access to transportation. So I think the best thing that we can do as council and I can do as mayor is to maybe look into this. This is the first time I've heard of this. I know we have lack of transportation. That is not something that is new to me, but I wasn't aware how
it operates.
how it operates. So I think it's incumbent of us and myself to learn more about it, and then we can start advocating for, do we look at private businesses outside of Bonnyville that perhaps can come in and fill in some of those gaps where transportation is needed? Is it an opportunity for the municipality to look at local transportation? I'm not too sure, but I think the first step is to become more informed so that I can advocate properly.
Okay. How is the cost of living here in Bonnyville compared to other cities out there?
Well, I think our cost of living is good. I'm not too sure compared to other places. I mean, we do compare when we do our taxes, but we really want to try to keep. We had to do a tax increase this year, 2%, but we try to do it so that every year, if it's a small incremental tax increase, is better than not doing a tax increase for 4 years, is what has happened in the past. No tax increases, and then we were talking about doing a 6% tax increase, which I feel is not acceptable for the residents. So we try to be fiscally minded that way as far as the impact that it has on the residents and the cost of living.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess at this point, that's all I can say. I know it's a hard time for people right now when we talk about the cost of gas and electricity and, just to heat your household, it's crazy. So, I mean, we're always out there, again, trying to lobby and try to bring awareness to what it costs to live here in the town of Bonnyville. But I think overall, I think we're pretty competitive with our other municipalities.
Okay. So what opportunities are there in Bonnyville that can attract maybe people from other cities to relocate to Bonnyville?
Well, first and foremost, we do have fiber optic in the town, which a lot of other rural municipalities don't have. So we do have access to high-speed internet. So if we're talking about that, being able to work, have virtual, as a virtual, or to be able to access jobs that aren't necessarily in your town or city, we have those capabilities here. Which I think could attract a good population. We do have a lot of outdoor activities, recreational activities that I think any outdoor enthusiast would be interested in in doing. We have a couple daycares, so if we've got families with young kids, we've got daycares that can accommodate that. We do have a variety of type of good jobs, which I believe could be in the oil industry, could be in the health sector. We've got a hospital here. We've got a medical clinic. But we also do have college. Portage College has a big presence in the town. So
Okay.
even if you wanted to do further education, you have that accessibility here as well.
Do you have something in town that you know that in other cities or in other towns they don't have? So let me say multicultural events like festivals, for example, most people travel to Calgary for the
Stampede?
Stampede, yes.
Yeah.
So what do you have in Bonnyville that somebody in Calgary, somebody in Edmonton can say, every year I have to go to Bonnyville for this festival or for this kind of event? What do you have?
Well, I guess same on the same wavelength as the Stampede. We do have the chuck wagons and the rodeo that comes to town.
Okay.
And that is a yearly event. We have an amazing stadium here that was built just not that long ago. A great track, and it is a sold-out event every year. We have the WCPA and the CPCA. I'm probably getting that wrong. And they, I believe this year it's going to be June 8th to 12th. So that's
Okay.
something that comes every year that people around here look forward to. It's a world-class event as well. But we also have a lot of events, maybe not necessarily in the town of Bonnyville, but that we partner with. So just outside of Bonnyville at the airport, and so this is in the MD of Bonnyville, they have drag races that they started a couple years ago, and that's an event that is just building every year. And it's not necessarily in the town of Bonnyville, but we definitely support it. So you'll get a lot of, our hotels benefit from it, and restaurants and such. But that is a great event that is just building every year as well.
Oh, okay. So in Bonnyville, do you have something that attracts the young generation so that they don't move out of Bonnyville and then it becomes a town of old people?
That is the question, isn't it? And that's tough. I understand. There are a lot of young adults who don't feel we have enough here for them. But again, I think if you are somebody who enjoys the outdoors, I think that will keep you here. That would attract you here. In the summertime, there's so many lakes around here, swimming, skiing. In the winter, we've got a great cross-country ski club.
Okay.
So there are things that, if you were an outdoor enthusiast, that would keep you here. If you weren't an outdoor enthusiast, I think what's nice about Bonnyville is we still have a small town feel, but we have everything generally, that you would need. We don't have big shopping centers that the big cities can provide. But, if you do have access to transportation, the city, to go to Lloydminster is just over an hour, Cold Lake is just down the way, so I think it's important for us to think of it also as a region. Although Bonnyville might not provide you what you need, you might be able to get access to that in Cold Lake, which is just 25 minutes down the road. So of course they've got a Starbucks and Walmart and Winners, or St. Paul, that's not far from here. So there are a lot of, let's say, shopping boutiques, clothing stores that we've got one here in Bonnyville, but there's one in Elk Point, there's one in St. Paul. So I think there is a little bit of something for everybody in the region, and so it's sometimes you just got to search it out a little bit.
So do you have any plans to bring more retail stores, restaurants, and all this stuff?
Yeah, council does recognize that there is a need for, as you said earlier too, if we lose people, that's our tax base as well. So it's same with businesses. And we do recognize the need for the town. So we do have an economic development committee that has been formed. We are currently going through some strategic planning, which some of those priorities could be how do we bring in more retail stores?
When I was watching the World Cup, I saw that Canada qualified for the World Cup in soccer. So in Bonnyville, as a council, as a town, do you have any program for the youngsters to support them in soccer?
Well, we do have an outdoor soccer league and an indoor soccer league, and I know they're quite active. So I guess that's where I would point to people there. I mean, over at our rec facility, we have the indoor gym, and it's like it's called a field house, and it's booked by soccer. I think 6 out of the 7 days of the week. Like they're a very active club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that we just want to share with the residents of Bonnyville?
Yeah, I think what I want to share is really that our council we're working really hard to bring the town of Bonnyville up to what it should be. So, for example, pardon me, we now have an app. You know, coming into this new age, we've got an app now that you can go to. Do you want to see the events? Do you want to see when your garbage is going to get picked up? So things like that we're working on. Pardon me. You know, we're trying to be bold, and we're trying to do things a little bit differently so that it's not just, well, that's just how we did it and we're not going to change. Well, are there ways that we can look at things differently? Are there things that we do need here that, you know, we possibly could take the lead on? And so my council is not afraid to take on those initiatives, and I think that's what I want people to see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's oil and gas and agriculture are the main industries just outside of Bonnyville.
Okay.
Yeah.
Madam Mayor, thank you so much for having time with me. Thank you so much, and I'm planning to come again in summer so that we can go around and see the beauty of Bonnyville. And we encourage guys out there, please just come and visit Bonnyville and see how beautiful it is.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you come back in the summer and you're still thinking about it, let's walk around the town of Bonnyville. One other area I haven't mentioned is we do have a trail around. We've got a lake in town called Jessie Lake.
Oh, yeah?
And it's there's a trail there, and it's very busy. People walk. We've got a splash park on there. We've got an outdoor gym. So I invite you to come this summer. Let me know when you're here, and
sure.
let's do a tour of our trail.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this video.
And subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you don't miss the ice fishing event by Kehewin Cree Nation.